Alright, well, the formatting is now done, so we go ahead and close it. Now and then we can close gpart add. That's fine. Okay, just to illustrate that this is working, or the reason why we are doing this, let's do this. Let's go ahead and run the command inside the terminal, the command line interface. We'll just say touch test.txt. What this does is it creates an empty file called test.txt. ls will confirm that the file does exist here, but it is actually saved onto a RAM disk from the virtual machine's perspective, which means when I reset or when I turn off the virtual machine, this will go away. But we can confirm that when we restart the virtual machine. So at this point, it's time to turn off the virtual machine. You can click on this symbol here, the log out dialog, and when you click it, it will display the dialog, and we can select shut down. This is the proper sequence to shut down the virtual machine. You don't want to just click the X symbol for the QEMU window, because what that does is, as I said earlier, it's the same as pulling the plug on a PC, and it's not good. It's not really good for the file system, even though extension 3 is fairly resistant to that sort of thing. But we still don't want to make any, we don't want to take risks unnecessarily. And once again, we'll give it a moment to shut down. You will see the screen for a while, and then it will shut down. Now, in the next segment, what I'll do is I'm going to switch to my more native virtual machine, because that's a whole lot faster compared to what you saw here. And you can see that eventually it will show you that it's actually shutting down. Well, actually, it's losing some real-time clock interrupts during the shutdown sequence, and it's losing the interrupts and timing out and all that stuff simply because it's too slow. The operating system thinks something is wrong because the emulated device is taking too long to respond to it. And that's because we are running a virtual machine inside a virtual machine. So at this point, I think we got enough covered that needs the Windows 7 virtual environment, which is basically, let me just go through this part again. I just want to show you the content of the batch file. And as it is right now, the content of the batch file consists of QEMU -M 1024, which is 1 gig of RAM allocated to the virtual machine. I believe 512 is enough. So if you're running low, or if your PC doesn't come with that much memory, you can just give the virtual machine 512 megabytes of RAM. This part is important. We want to tell the virtual machine to use the ISO file, the deblive ISO file, as the CD-ROM. This part is important as well. We want to make sure that the virtual machine knows where to find the BIOS files. And this one is also very, very important. Without this part, you can't really save any files. This will tell the virtual machine to use disk.qcal2 as the image file for HD1, or the first hard drive for the virtual machine. This part here is kind of nice to have, but you don't need to have it. Okay, what it does is when your mouse goes over the virtual machine, it will automatically grab it automatically. And when you move your mouse out of the virtual machine, it will also automatically release the mouse grab. So that's kind of nice, because you don't have to use Control-Alt all the time to get out of the virtual machine. But once again, that part is optional. And once you have everything like that, the next time you start it up, you don't have to start it up from the command line interface in Windows anymore. All you have to do is to double-click VM deblive, which is the name of the batch file. You can confirm the type of the file as Windows batch file here, and when you double-click it, it should start up the virtual machine just the same. So the next video segment is going to be run from my Linux host environment, but to you it should appear the same in Windows anyway, so it should not make any difference. Alright, so I look forward to producing the next segment of illustrating how to use the Debian Live CD.